Okay.
Okay, welcome to part 2. What we're going to work on now is some bending and flexing exercises. We're going to see if we can get Crystal's horse Texas to give at the pole, which means we're going to be looking right at the forehead of the horse here. We want this to be vertical, which is like straight up and down. So we want her chin to come in. We want her to flex here. This is what we call the pole. This way the horse will be able to do a lot more quicker maneuvers, and she'll be a little bit more willing to do what we ask her to do. So how we're going to be doing that is we're going to ask Crystal to what I call set her hands. So she's going to use a block, which is not pulling on the horse, but she's going to block the horse from forward movement. So she's not going to pull back. She's just going to block the reins. So there's pressure here and here of equal, so that it's going to block the horse from going forward. And she's going to pull back very slightly until the horse drops her head. Now this can take some time for the horse to get the idea. If she wiggles the reins just a little bit, the moment, that's okay, just ignore it, because she's going to think back right away. Wiggle the reins. We want her to give her face, which the horse is not getting the idea. Sometimes you may have to ask 1,000 times to get this because the horse doesn't understand. So it's something that you just have to keep working. The moment she gives an inch, you want to give her those reins so that it says to the horse that that was the right choice. And that's what you had asked her to do. Pull back just a little forward. Okay, just put steady pressure on the rein instead of a wiggle. There she goes. She dropped it. Give it back to her. Perfect. Okay, now we'll do it again. Steady pressure. Pull back just a little. There she goes. She did it again. Good. You see how she's more or less now, she's straighter here? That's what we're looking for. Now, the next thing we're going to do is work on the correct backup. And we'll be using a fence for this because when Crystal asks Texie to whoa, she doesn't stop right when she asks her to. She takes a few steps and she just doesn't quite have the idea that whoa means whoa and don't take any more steps. So what we'll do is we'll get Crystal to ride directly into the fence. When you get there, we're going to block the hands again, but you have to ride her right to the fence. Don't let her anticipate that there's a fence there and start slowing down.
Keep her moving forward.
Exactly. Keep her moving forward until you tell her to whoa. And when you tell her to whoa, what you're going to do is sit down in that saddle and get as like a sack of potatoes, whatever works for you. Just drop, get really loose and relaxed. Try not to use your reins too much because you don't want to pull the horse up or out of her gait. Basically, put a little bit of pressure in your stirrups, sit down, move your bum off the back. There you go. So we'll just do it at a walk. So just walk right to the fence, walk her straight into it, ask her for the whoa by saying and whoa. And remember that a horse can hear 4 times better than you can, so you do not have to yell. She's heard you the first time. Sometimes you hear people out there and they're going, whoa! Well, the horse is a little panicky. Their head's going to come up because they're wondering why you're yelling, because that's what it sounds like to them. So we'll just try it once, Crystal. Just go right forward, right into the fence. We'll do it at a walk a couple times, and then we'll try it at a trot. Sometimes it gets them a little bit more responsive. Okay, now turn and walk off to your left to the next fence. Same thing. What we can do to reinforce our whoa if the horse is not getting the idea is ask him for 1 or 2 steps back. That reinforces in their mind no more forward movement. From the time you say whoa, it's stop, and then it's reverse after that.
Opposite fence?
Yeah, go back to this side and this side. We'll try that a few times, and then we'll switch to a trot. Good, that'll just reinforce it in her mind that she was supposed to stop. Once we get her into some more of the reining maneuvers, the reason we start teaching with a backup and a whoa and a stop is because they use the same muscle groups that they're going to be using when they're working off of their haunches. And Texie, this horse here, definitely does not work off of her haunches. She works all on her front end, so we're going to have to teach her. That's where we want her weight. And working into the fence like that, we'll teach her that. Later on, we can do some other exercises where we'll turn her into the fence so she has no choice but to put her weight there and to pivot to come off of it. Okay, turn to the right this time. We'll just do a couple more at the walk. Maybe just encourage her not to be so lackadaisical with her walk. Just get her within the same gait. Just get her to pick it up a bit without trotting. Just get her attention. She's getting a little bit bored with this, but that's okay. This will help her get a little bit more light and agile on the front end. And we're going to start asking her now, Crystal, to pick up the speed. And then I want you to ask her about 4 steps back. So put her into the trot going into the fence. And when you get there, ask her a little bit more abruptly. Don't let her anticipate that fence. And back. Good, okay, turn to the other side. You can see how the horse is getting her nose up a bit as soon as we ask for the trot. So just give her a little wiggle. That's good. She brought her nose down. Perfect, perfect. Okay, let's do that a couple more times. She's getting the idea. We don't want to make her sick of doing it, but we want to make sure that she's got the idea. See how she dropped her head? Okay, now let's try going down the long way and try the trot the whole time, just so that she's not going to anticipate that fence there. Okay. We'll try it there.
Trot that way and then back?
Yeah, you bet. Try it at each end, right in the middle. Okay, when you come back this way, Crystal, let's have a little bit more impulsion this time. Not a canter, but let's have a rising trot and ride her right into that fence so that she thinks about stopping, but she doesn't get to stop until you tell her to. Try and keep her straight. Good. Okay, now I want to try it without the fence. So go straight down the arena at a trot again. Fairly nice trot. And just see what kind of a stop we get and a backup. And if she doesn't stop right where you asked her to, I want you to back her up to where you asked her to stop without saying back up. Just do it without a vocal command. So just before the pylons, ask her to whoa. Sit down. Okay, now just back her up, but don't tell her that. Right where you Okay, we're going to try that one again. Just go around the pylons and come here and try it one more time. That's a little reprimand to her, just to say you have to stop where I've asked you to stop, not where you've decided to stop. Just past the pylons, ask her for the whoa. Okay, back her up 3 steps. That's what she took. And say there, whoa. Okay, now give her some time to think about it. See how she's chewing there? Now she's thinking. Okay, we're going to move on to part 3 from here. So we'll see you on the next video.